allow this generation that they fought for to be put to shame. You will not allow our enemies to triumph over us. For no one hopes in you and never come out in shame. But shame shall encompass all of them who are treacherous. Shame shall be the portion of all the saboteurs, both dead and living. Shame shall become and will be the portion of those that persecute your children. You will show us your way, for we are nothing without thee. You will teach us your paths. You will guide us in your truth. You will teach us, O Elohim, because you are Chukwokika Biama, our Savior and our Redeemer, and our hope is in you and you alone. Every day, every morning, every night, we ceaselessly call upon your holy name, that you may have mercy upon us, that your love and your grace may abide within us. Do not remember the sins of our youth. Do not remember the sins of our fathers and our ancestors. Do not count our rebellious ways against us. According to your love, O Elohim, please have mercy upon us and give us Biafra in our time. For we are upright in thy word. For we are guided by the instructions you have laid down in your commandments, that sin may not have any hold over us. Come and guide us in your humble way, and teach us to be that which you have destined us to become. For we have no other God apart from thee. We have no other creator apart from thee. For the sake of your name, not for anything that we may have done, not for any righteousness that we may have possessed. Elohim, forgive us our iniquity and have mercy upon us. Grant us Biafra in our time, that your name may be exalted, that your name may be praised, that your name, O Elohim, may be lifted up above every other name, now and forevermore, we pray. He said,
Mama viewers, thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you're joining me from any part of the world, Asia, Africa, Europe, America, Australia, wherever part you are joining from me, I thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. If you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remember blessed. Also remember to put your comments down after watching. Comments, just say it the way you feel it. Express yourself in the comment section. It's all welcome. Thank you and remember blessed. Today, once again, we are talking about the issue of the contraption called Nigeria. The attitude of Nigeria towards its own people. That very contraption called Nigeria has no plans for its own people. The people who are in the aim of affairs, the politicians, those who call themselves elites, do not have the ordinary mass in the hand. They don't care about the ordinary people. They don't have us at heart. They don't have the masses at heart. Whatever they are doing is for their own selfish interests. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Whatever policy they are putting down out there is for themselves. And it's being played out every day. For those of us who are living abroad, you wouldn't know what people are facing. Not until when you look down and look very well, you will see what they are facing. Our people who are living abroad, Nigerians living abroad, they have no single respect. No country has respect for them. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter the papers you're using. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. They wouldn't have any respect for you so long you're using the green passport called Nigeria. Once they see you as a Nigerian, you begin to have disrespect immediately. That is why most people who are Nigerians living abroad don't even identify themselves as Nigerians. So many of us living abroad don't identify themselves as Nigerians. You see them identifying themselves with other countries instead of being a Nigerian. You can only know that they are Nigerians when it comes to traveling because they cannot hide their passport. They use their passport. And so many people who have been able to acquire international passports in other countries, citizenship, they dump the Nigerian passport, immediately they have their citizenship because it is useless. The country called Nigeria will never protect you. Just as the way people in Nigeria are facing their problem, the way you see the insecurity in Nigeria, that the government is not able to protect their people, the same way is happening to the Nigerians abroad. Nigerians abroad has no protection. Nobody is protecting them whatsoever. If anything happened to them, they're on their own. Call your embassy, they will not listen to you. More especially when you have a southern name. When your name sounds like a southerner, more especially the most people that feel the most hurt is the Igbos. Is the Igbos. Once you have an Igbo name and you have a problem, you're abroad, you go to the embassies. Even before the agitation started, nobody listens to you. Don't tell me it is because of the IPOB, whatever. Even before the issue of IPOB came on board, before IPOB take responsibility of speaking the voice of the masses, it was happening. Once you are abroad and you have a problem, you call your embassy. I have seen in several locations. One has happened to me face to face. Call the embassy to come and attend to issue for their country. They ask you from where. As soon as you mention the name, the name, and they see that the name is from the southern part of Nigeria, more especially the Igbo, they will never attend to you. They will tell the authorities to go ahead and do what they want to do with the person. You will see most of our people in abroad being accused innocently for what they have not done. There are a lot of people who are facing drug charges for just being a Nigerian. For just being a Nigerian, they are accused as drug barons and they are being sentenced to jail. Some of them sentenced to death, and nobody standing for them. It has happened time with that number, and the Nigerian government will never come after for you. The Nigerian High Commission abroad will never ever stand for you. So long you are from the southern part of Nigeria, you have a problem, call them, they will never come. They will never come. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have witnessed it. It has happened to me. It is not a hearsay. They will never come. They will not come to your aid. So long you are bearing a name, a Christian name more especially, and again, you are from the southern part of Nigeria, and God help you, you will have an Igbo name, you are done for. They won't listen to you. They will never. Once the forces, the police of the place or whatever, call them, they ask them, there is a Nigerian that has been detained in so place, it is come on. Once they ask them and you tell them that they will never show up. The same thing is happening in the detention camp, in immigration camp, where people are suffering immigration penalty just because they do not have the documents. Immigration offense is not a death penalty, and anybody can fall into such kind of a problem. It is not a crime. Immigration offense is not a serious crime, but somebody who have an immigration offense, the country will call our High Commission, Nigeria, the so-called Janjaweed High Commission, that somebody from your country is being held. We need to deport him. Bring a certificate to deport him. Bring a traveling certificate to deport him. They will never show up. Instead, they will call you and be demanding for money. That is why we do not want to be part of this very contraction called Nigeria, because they have no plan for those of us who are from the south. They have no plan for you from the south. And most of us are abroad, people who are abroad, funding that very Janjaweed to exist, that very contraption called one Nigeria. It is the Southerners who are in the abroad that are funding it, sending billions of dollars to Nigeria monthly to fund it and make that country what it is. But yet, they have no support on what helps whoever for you, so long you're from the south. How many Northerners are abroad? How many of them are abroad? And if you see any Northern and abroad, they are the ones who the embassies are favoring. Once they have a problem, just a call, they are there. Once they have a problem, they wouldn't even have any problem, because once they come, they are the ones that they have been allowed to register their passports. You will see a High Commission of Nigeria asking you that you have to register your passport when you go to abroad. But when you go there to register your passport, they won't even allow you to register your passport as in Nigeria. Yes, I have witnessed it. It's not a hearsay. They will not allow you to register your passport. You will go there and tell them you want to register your passport. They tell you register your passport for what? Knowing fully well the implication of registering your passport, they won't allow you. That is why we want out from this contraption called Nigeria. They have nothing to offer to you from the southern part of Nigeria. If you have a problem, you call them, you are on your own. They won't do anything. So once they hear you are from the south, whatever crime, they will not investigate. They will just accept and say, yes, he committed a crime. And that's the end of it. Many people from the southern part of Nigeria are suffering in jail abroad. Nobody to attend to them, nobody to listen to them. Some have even finished serving their jail terms. Nobody to deport them, no papers to deport them, nobody will come and deport them, and they are not doing anything about it. A lot of them are crying, complaining on a daily basis. Nobody to help them, and nobody is willing to do it. It's not even on the table. Nobody's even discussing about it in Nigeria. That is why we want out. The southern part of Nigeria must speak up and stand up. These people don't mean well for us. They are only concerned about themselves. They are concerned about themselves. or when things happen to somebody who is a janjaweed, that is the only time they take action. Look at recently, a diplomat in Indonesia was beaten up just because of immigration offense. Immigration caught him, they beat him up almost to death. I would have shared the video with you, but I will not share the video with you because YouTube will not permit it. A diplomat was beaten up in Indonesia. That is the only time their Minister of External Affairs begin to speak and begin to talk rubbish. That is when he realized that Nigerians are suffering abroad. Nigerians are killed on daily basis abroad. They are suffering abroad. You see what is happening in India. Nigerians are being killed on daily basis. More especially in Asia. Many Asia countries. Nigerians are being killed on daily basis. Nobody is doing anything. Nobody is saying anything about it. Only now that is happening to their diplomat. If they can treat a diplomat that way, just imagine what an ordinary Nigerian is facing abroad. Somebody who called himself a Nigerian diplomat. They beat him up, even though they know he's a Nigerian. They know that Nigeria can't do anything to them. They know that Nigeria doesn't have any liver. They can't stand it. They don't have. Nigeria is not a country. It's a failed state. That is why they are bold enough to beat up their counselor. A diplomat beaten up to mess. Go and look for the video. You will see the video. I can't share it there because YouTube is not going to allow it. They beat him up. He was shouting. They beat him up. Only for your Minister of External Affairs to come and begin to yab rubbish and talk. I'm going to share with you the video of what the Minister of...
You are welcome, Your Excellency. You are welcome, Your Excellencies.
I've come to brief you on a on an event that transpired about on Saturday evening. We understand Saturday regarding a Nigerian diplomat serving in Indonesia. A large number of you would have seen it trending, the video on social media, where he was being restrained by his neck in a moving car. When we saw this, we immediately, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, contacted the ambassador, our ambassador in Indonesia, who gave us a verbal account of what had transpired and confirmed that the video was indeed of a Nigerian diplomat in Indonesia, and that apparently this took place, this action, illegal action, took place during a roundup by Indonesian immigration officials or search for irregular and illegal migrants in their country. Now, the first thing we did was to request that the ambassador submit to us a full and comprehensive report of what happened, to reach immediately the home ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Jakarta, to lodge a formal and a strong complaint against the actions of these immigration officers, because under international law, the Vienna Convention, diplomats and diplomatic premises are inviolable. And this was a clear breach of the Vienna Convention and an act of egregious international delinquency. Now, the following day, or yesterday, we summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs the ambassador of Indonesia to Nigeria, and again complained in the strongest terms regarding what had taken place, totally unacceptable under any circumstances whatsoever. He, of course, communicated the report that he had received from his capital as to what had transpired. And later, yesterday, in the evening, we received a full and comprehensive report from the Nigerian ambassador in Indonesia, which we have studied and reinforces our previous position that there was absolutely no justification whatsoever for this treatment, for this kind of behavior against not only a diplomat, a Nigerian diplomat, but even if it had taken place against any Nigerian citizen, it was totally unacceptable. And so what we have decided to do is to recall for consultations immediately our Nigerian ambassador in Jakarta, in Indonesia, and we will have full consultations at the highest level and decide what next steps to take, including a review, of course, of our relations with Indonesia. We have also requested the Indonesian government to take severe and appropriate sanctions against the immigration officials that were involved in this act of brazen criminality. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and to assure you and through you, the Nigerian public, that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is taking all the necessary steps and strong steps too, and assures the Nigerian people that we will rigorously and robustly defend the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians anywhere in the world. And we'll call on you all to remain patient and calm as we get fully to the bottom of this, for our ambassador to arrive and for the consultations to take place. And we assure you that an appropriate response will be forthcoming. He was apparently in the streets, and they came up to him because the Indonesian immigration officials, we understand, around this time that that they are going around looking for illegal immigrants. And indeed, the ambassador of Indonesia, when he was here yesterday, confirmed that. And so that's what they were doing. And they apparently they went to him and asked him. They wanted to see his travel documentation to ensure that he had come in to Indonesia legally. And he protested, and he didn't have, unfortunately, it would appear, all his documentation with him. But he indicated that he was, a diplomat, and that he was in a position to prove that. And accompanied, and this was also confirmed by the Nigerian ambassador, accompanied them, or was willing to accompany them to their office, where he was ready to go and to assert that he was a diplomat and immune from prosecution and all that. So that was what happened. So he now got into the car with them and was going with them to their office. Now, at that point, as we understand it, he was left alone. He was not in any way, shackled or anything like that. But at a certain point, he felt that they had passed where he understood their office was, and they should have been going, and they proceeded beyond that. So he panicked and thought this might be a case of kidnap. And so he, apparently, started to shout and And again, this was confirmed by the Nigerian ambassador in the car. And then he had, I think, some instrument or the other he was able to get, and he wanted to attract the attention of passers-by, and was hitting it on the window of the car. And at that point, they now started to restrain him. And I think that was what came out in the video that was circulating. So this is, what was stated by the Indonesian side, and also confirmed by the Nigerian ambassador in his comprehensive report. With regards to the question by the Diplomat magazine, I think that was pretty much the same, along the same lines. Where was he, and what did he do? And then how is it being addressed, I think, was also asked, or how is it going to be addressed? So, the ambassador, the report has now come in, and, clearly there was no justification for what happened. He was a diplomat, credited, and so we are, as I said, when he returns, going to look into that, and also we're looking to see also what the Indonesian government is going to do. We've asked for sanctions, appropriate sanctions against these officials. Was also asked to speak to my counterpart, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. It's absolutely important for us that the Indonesian government accepts, apologizes, and understands that this was totally unacceptable, and that we see that the Indonesian government is going to address it with the absolute seriousness that it deserves. And we, on our side, will be able, during the consultations, to look at all the options that are available to the government, and we will take the appropriate measures. The Guardian raised the issue regarding other Nigerians in Indonesia. There is a large community of Nigerians in Indonesia, and we have a binational commission. We have a mechanism for bilateral cooperation with Indonesia, and the consular aspect of our relations is obviously a very important one, because there are so many Nigerians in Indonesia, and we have been having complaints about some of the treatment of the Nigerians, and it's something we've been engaging very robustly with the Indonesian government about. And again, this is some of the issues that we do have in a number of countries, and Indonesia is no exception, with a large number of Nigerians, a lot of whom are legal and doing well in the country, and a certain number, unfortunately, who are also illegal and irregular, and so our embassy and our mission there is spending a lot of time engaged in trying to address this issue of some of those Nigerians in Indonesia whose stay is not totally regular, and also who might be engaged in activities that are not altogether wholesome. You can see where you're coming from, actually, because obviously if it's somebody who is new and doesn't know that there are these regular, raids and so forth, and how to respond to it, that it could be, because of his being new. So yeah, that's an interesting question. Well, the reality is actually the opposite. It's a diplomat that is actually coming to the end of his time in Indonesia. He's actually finished his tour of duty in Indonesia. The first question regarding whether the decision that we will take regarding relations with Indonesia is dependent on what is decided on during the consultations after the ambassador has returned. Yes, the two are obviously linked. When we called the ambassador back for consultations, and those consultations be wider than the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It'll be at the highest level of government, and we will then decide when we have all the elements and other actors beyond Ministry of Foreign Affairs are also involved. So it will be an all-of-government decision with regards to how we go forward with relations with Indonesia. Then there was a question about Bali, and I think that's slightly, not totally related to the issue that we are discussing here, but the MC can actually maybe give us some information regarding that, since that's actually within his purview. Then News Central was asking what point do these authorities need to contact the mission in the various countries, or presumably, or these Nigerians need to contact the mission. They absolutely do. What we ask all Nigerians, that whenever they go to a foreign country, their first port of call should be the Nigerian embassy or a high commission or whatever, to register themselves. Unfortunately, a large number of Nigerians do not do that. In fact, they actually do not even want the mission and embassies to know anything about them or where they are. And it's only when there's an issue, we see something in the social media, or they get into trouble, then they come, running to the embassies. So this is unfortunately what happens. But the ideal situation, and what we urge all Nigerians, whenever you go to a foreign country, please report to the embassy. Register with the embassy so they know where you are, your contact information, and can give you whatever support services you need. And of course,
other nationals that also claim a Nigerian passport.
Absolutely. So go ahead. Yeah. I mean, as the Honourable Minister has also pointed out, which is a fact, that you have a lot of people in a lot of these countries that claim to be Nigerians, or have Nigerian passports illegally, and we have to deal with this very often. The embassies have to deal with this very often on the issues of deportation. When some of them are being deported and returns, and you find out that that a lot of them are not Nigerians, and that's where our embassies very often intervene to reject some of the deportees being sent to Nigeria, because it's clear that they are not Nigerians. So I think that has
one more question there. Is your question attended to?
Sorry.
Can you repeat it, please? Maybe you break down so I can hear you.
Okay.
Incident or
Yeah. So, sorry. Yes, I forgot. Yeah. Not to my knowledge. You see, because diplomats have immunity, and so these kinds of things should not normally do. Countries respect that. That if somebody shows that they are a diplomat, that they are sovereign, as it were. They're representing their countries, and so we have not had anything like this to my recollection. But of course, what has happened, I know, is that sometimes diplomats, especially with speeding, or there have been some cases where they have run afoul of the laws of the country, and the police have been called in, and so forth. But of course, the police cannot take any action against the diplomats. They can only make formal complaints. So ordinarily, if every country respects a treaty, the Vienna Convention, that they are all signatories to, they will diplomats, premises, and the physical being are untouchable, inviolable by any country in which they are accredited. Thank you.
Well, after hearing from him and what you can see that Nigeria is a failed state, Nigeria is not going to help you in any way. The best thing for you and I to do is to ask for this integration of this country. Break it up and let us have our lives. Break it up to save life. Break it up to have a responsible life. Break it up to have a place you can be proud to say, this is my country. As of now, nobody has a country. Nobody in that country called Nigeria has a country. All we have is Oduduwa. We have Oduduwa fighting for their independence. We have Biafra fighting for their independence. We have the Middle Belt and other indigenous tribes who are looking for a way out to have a country of their own. We have to fight stronger than ever. Michuku Kabe will continue to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is our mouthpiece and speaking the voice and the language that they understand. Michuku Kabe will continue to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, give him strength, give him more life, make him stronger than ever. And very soon he's coming out with the flag of Biafra lifted high, and we will celebrate with him, walk into Biafra with our head lifted high, and sing the national anthem of Biafra boldly. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from, and remember this. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.